Good day and welcome to our watercolor journey. Today we're going to paint this painting using primary colors. The materials I used is nickel Azo Yellow, permanent rose, Antwerp blue and blends of those three colors. The paper is Potentate cold press 100% cotton, and the brushes I used is the Herend number 7 flat brush, the Rosemary Co Sable blend number 5, number 2 and number 0 round. I also used a Rosemary Co extended point number 4. I drew out a basic sketch for my painting. I painted wet on dry here with my flat brush. First started with my sky and started with the blues and then the grey and then the yellow. Okay. If you get problems where your yellow mixes with your blue and creates green, then you can just diffuse it with red and it will neutralize that green. This is just the initial layer that I'm painting. I'm painting around the houses. Because I want to preserve some of the white there. Play around with your colors. I think it's just to show how the paint will mix on the paper and what results you get from this. It's always very convenient to let watercolor work its own magic. Don't be afraid to make marks in this initial stage, because everything will fuse back and just give you something to work with later on. And I'm not bothered about the tree, because the tree is going to be darker than the background. Just create those initial textures that you want in your painting. I splattered in some clean water to create some backgrounds. Now your painting can dry. This painting is really very loose. Everything is going to be about suggestion of things happening. Especially with houses, you really don't have to be very particular and create beautiful architecture. It's a lot of the times, if you get the basic suggestion there, your viewer will interpret it exactly the way that you want it to be seen. because we're definitely not trying to create a photo. I'm starting with my tree. I'm adding my yellow first of all, and just building up the darker values to the side, and then the paints can fuse on its own. You can really get much more interesting color blends when you let watercolor be watercolor. I think this is one of the wonderful things about watercolor compared to some of the other mediums. It's amazing to see all the different color variations that you get with those three colors. As your painting dries and you see the colors are fading back, you could just go and intensify the areas that you want to have darker. If you add a touch of red to the green, it will diffuse it so that it's not as vibrant. But I'm building up values to the side of a path because you want that path to stand out. This will help to create directional lines in your painting to lead your eye through the painting. And create dry brush effects throughout. That definitely helps to create texture. And with your cold press and your rough paper, you will definitely be able to see it more. Hard press is really more challenging in that sense, because you cannot create the same textures as with these other papers. I'm just adding my foliage to the tree branches. As I mentioned, it's a very loose painting. And just showing what mixing and blending can do with your pre-primary colors. So even a few splats for some more texture, always not to complain about. Just building up some darks for shadows underneath those bushes at the back. As these paints are quite transparent, it takes quite a bit of building up your values. As the dogs is coming in, you can definitely see that pathway popping out even more. And you can really jump around in your painting. As one area starts to dry, then you can work on an area that's drier already. So now it's always scary just to work with a few basic pigments, but it's definitely possible. Don't be afraid to experiment with those colors and see what you can come up with. I still think the birds is always a nice addition, just to create some life in your painting. Because I work with quite diluted paints, so I can really build up the values as I go along. Because if it's too dark in the beginning, it's really difficult to get that light back. Then you have to go into things like wash or acrylic paint and so on. I want to create a little bit of darkness against the house, because a little bit more darkness on the side of the house will make that houses pop out a little bit more. Here's our final painting. Please like, subscribe, and also comment for me. Thank you for watching. See you next time.